Hello, people. Welcome to the podcast. If you're new around here, this is the Chat Shit Get Cancelled podcast. My name's Gavin Mckinney. I'm a personal trainer from Glasgow, although some people say I sound like I'm from Money, which is funny because I'm not. Brought up on benefits, brought up in council estates. I just like to let people think that I'm better than them because I believe I am, you know. Where was I going with this? This is an intro, Gavin. What are you talking about? Anyway, hi, John. John's a good guy. John I've had on before and he was on talking about his story, but I'll be honest with you, me and him are probably two guys that want to have a laugh, and there wasn't many laughs to be had because he was telling me about wanting to throw himself off a mountain. So as you can imagine, there wasn't that many laughs to be had, so I decided to have him on again, and I literally said to him, here, you up for coming on? We'll have a lot more of a light-hearted chat because I'm pretty sure he's sick of telling his story, and it's probably quite traumatizing to keep coming on and going, than telling his story. So if you're here to listen to that, then maybe listen to the first one, but this one's a lot more of a two guys just having a chat about life, what we're doing, and just having just a wee bit more light-hearted, maybe easier on the eye, easier on the ears, and easier for, more importantly, the two people in the room, because I think both of us were like, let's stay away from the heavy stuff, man. Let's stay away from the heavy stuff. Bye. This podcast comes out 7 a.m. every Tuesday. If you're wanting just a wee laugh, some different perspective on things, some interesting guests, sometimes some not so interesting guests. If I fuck it up, then have a few listens to some of the other episodes. Maybe what ones were quite good. The last one with Adam, unbelievable. What a guy. Bit English though, but great guy. I've had Brad from Love Island on. That was a great episode. Aye. And Michael, they're usually good ones. Michael's one of my best mates. They're probably your best ones if you're wanting to find a new podcast to listen to. I reckon this is your podcast now. You're one of mine. One of the people that thinks they're better than everyone, even though we're not. And put on a wee bit of a posher accent than you actually have, and then you're part of the show. Catch yous after. Oh well, I won't catch you. I'll catch you in a second. Enjoy the show. How does it feel to be unemployed?
Amazing. So good. I've never been unemployed, ever.
Because you were a workaholic, weren't you?
Aye, big time. So, starting at 15, I just walked out of school and went straight into a job. So, about 15, 16. So, in that sort of Christmas period, straight out working, and I've not stopped since.
What's your day looking like now?
So I've only been unemployed.
Lots of masturbating.
A lot of it, aye. So I've only been unemployed for 3 weeks. 3 weeks a day.
Yeah.
So I'm back to my job. So it's pretty much wake up, delay breakfast for as long as I can because I'm dieting.
Are you dieting again?
Aye, I'm waiting in Mallorca in 2 weeks, so I'm trying to just lose a wee bit of puppy fat before I go. Go to the gym. So at first it was just gym. Like it was literally just wake up, get ready. Because I've not got a motor, I had to drive to I had to walk to the train station and then walk back. So that's like 4 hours of my day is going to the gym.
How have you not got a car?
Because it was a company car.
Oh, did you not drive here?
That's my Moz motor.
Oh.
So I stole my Moz motor.
Mate, you just confused the life out of me. I was like, I just watched you come out of one.
Aye, no, that's my mum's car.
Well,
so that's the one where I went viral for because I bought my mum the motor.
Oh,
and then,
okay.
So I've stole it back.
Mate, I had 27 years of not having a car. I only passed last year.
It's horrible.
My full year working in person, I used to get the 240 bus to my first client that was at 7 a.m. This is at 27 years of age as well. And do you know the 240 bus route? It's like Wishaw, Motherwell, Bells Hill,
right.
Parkhead. It is the most vile fucking bus route ever, and I just be getting there at fucking 7 a.m. So, what, are you finding it difficult? But because you need to be self-motivated.
No, again, I've just getting that mindset where I need to be busy or I'm a disaster. If I stop for a day, I hate myself.
Well, how do you plan it? But like, what are you doing?
So at first I was planning gym first because that took the biggest chunk of my day. So like having to go to the train station, having to obviously go to the gym and come back. But now I'm starting to study first because I found that I was just putting that off. So I would say, I'm going to do it, and then I'd get back from the gym, I'd make food, I'd sit about, mess about, scroll TikTok, do whatever I'm doing, take my dogs a walk. I was doing everything no to do it. So I was like, I need to get up and I need to study first now.
Took me a full year to do that PT course, especially online.
That's what I was finding. So I bought the course back in June, and I was saying I was reading it and doing it. I wasn't doing anything. I was honestly just looking at it for a day, reading 10 pages of it and going, nah, like doing nothing for 2 weeks later.
I've said this to loads of people. The online PT course is the biggest like farce ever, as in you'll tell yourself it's easier to do it online in your own time, and you'll never do it. Like full year it took me, and there's so much bollocks with it as well. Like, see, I would send my stuff away and they would take 3 weeks to mark it, and then they'd tell me one wee stupid bit of it's wrong, and I'm like, not all of it's wrong. But that's what you want it to all be wrong. And then I would get it back 3 weeks later and they would be like, yeah, you need to fix this. Now take another 3 weeks to fix it. And I'm like, I could have done this in 6 weeks in a class.
I doubt myself as well. So I bought the course, so I had an argument buying the course.
Why?
So they advertised it for like 700 quid, right? So I was like, cool, geez that. Not a problem. I know plenty of PTs. I said, I talked to plenty of them, I'll be able to get help doing it. Phoned up the guy, he's like, nah, you don't want that one. You want this one that's like 1,500 quid. I'm like, no, I don't. So it's the same course. It's like, but you get help. And I was like, right, okay. And I was like, I don't want to spend that. And there's another course where it says you get help and it's £1,000. So I'll meet you in the middle doing that one. And that way, cool. So I paid the £1,000. They've sent me it and I've never heard a thing from them. Not a thing. Nothing.
They're all scams.
Aye.
They're literally all scams.
Aye.
Like, see, whenever I used to phone them, I asked them anything about it, they just wanted me off the phone. Like, they just wanted me.
That's the vibe I got. And they were all nice until the second I was saying I was about to go for it. And then because I wasn't going for the one that he wanted me to, he was just like, right, give your money, see you later.
It's actually horrendous. So I have a lot of PTs on here, right? And you'll find this when you get into the job, but you realise just how underqualified you are. Yeah. Even if you go to the gym and stuff, like, even if you know, because like I knew quite a lot about programming, I knew loads about nutrition, but so you try to teach it to someone else, and like you're programming for someone who's never been in a gym before, whereas you, like I would think about programming, I was like, what's the most optimal way for me to make progress, whereas what's the most optimal way for someone that maybe can't even like walk the length for themselves.
I know.
And you just go in and you're like, fuck, they never taught me in. They actually taught me nothing.
And they don't teach you the people side of it. That's why like I shouldn't have clients. I don't charge them. I think I might have spoken about this last time, but I work with, it was 4 people back then, it's now 2, but it's 2 people are doing it themselves and smashing it now. But I deliberately picked people who are difficult without sounding bad, like heavier people who's never been to the gym and they don't want to go to the gym. I deliberately wanted to work with them to try and learn the hardest. And part of me, I regret it because
it's hard work.
So much work, man. Fuck me. There's a point.
Because they're fucking
I'm
annoying.
I'm going to watch this around the both of them. Honestly, Jack and Dougie, I'm sorry, but like I've also stepped away from it a bit as well, and that makes me feel very fucking guilty. I feel so bad, but it's like there's a point where.
Oh, that feeling will stay, by the way. But everyone.
But at least I'm getting paid for it. That side of it. I love the boys to bits. I try to speak to them as much as I can. I don't speak to them enough, but there's a point, Jackie was almost at 10 kilo lost and he sat at it for like 2 months, and I'm like, mate, you're doing something wrong. You're not telling me what you're doing. I've brought your calories back a wee bit. Like, you're cheating yourself. But trying to tell somebody that without hurting them is difficult. Or you just sort of learn to not no care, but like realise you're doing it for the right reasons. Like stop cheating yourself, let's get it back together. And it took me 2 months to be able to say to him, get a grip. Like,
it's very difficult, but you learn little. Try to think of the best way to describe this, because these are things that you will learn, but I've learned off other people as well. Like, you can use sort of tactics like motivational interviewing. Have you heard of that?
No.
So it's more like projecting the question to them. So it's like maybe asking them, why do you think things have went sideways?
So open-ended questions.
Yeah, sort of so you're trying to get, and like therapists do this really well. So Paul, who you met, they're only trying to, he never, so I don't want to get too deep, because especially because the last time that's what I wanted you to just have a normal chat.
I
I don't want to be fucking crying.
I was expecting to come on here and go, right, I'm looking forward to talking about why I kill myself. and then sitting here like, I don't know what to talk about. So I talk about it.
So I spent 3 hours watching all your content. It just completely cooked my brain. And then at the end of it, so I wrote down like 10 questions. There's loads of stuff I want to ask you about, but if anyone, because a lot of people might come here thinking they are going to hear that story,
Aye.
but you've been on before. If you want to go
stories in there.
if you want to go and cry,
yeah,
and listen to it, fine. But I just, because see, after we done that as well, I done a podcast on my experience with therapy, and I went through the full thing.
I watched a lot of it, but I watched the full thing, but I watched a lot of it.
Mate, I can't listen to any of that.
It's hard, isn't it, to see it back?
And I didn't want to cry on it because that wasn't the whole point. Like I actually, but there was one story about what my mum, something she done, and so I'm not saying what it is, but when I say it, it just fucking kills me.
That's the worst bit, but as well, because people see crying as attention seeking, especially if you post it on social media. And I've cried, I think, 3 times on social media now.
Is it?
One was because I'm extremely happy about being sponsored by My Protein. When I just had a moment, I like, what the fuck's going on in my life? And why I recorded it, I'm kind of embarrassed by that one, but fuck it, it's there. And then one at the top of a mountain where I was going to kill myself, where I get slaughtered for that. Like, obviously there's about 40,000 comments on it. A lot of them are people saying like, attention seeking, blah, blah, blah. Can you know what else I was greeting for? I was just
Stub my toe.
Just something stupid again, but it's like, people don't realise when something affects you that fucking hard and that bad, sometimes just one word can just set it off, and you don't go in the intention of going, I'm going to greet. You don't do that, but you also know, you look at it and you go, that's genuine. Like, that could help people. And then you deal with the embarrassment after.
I think it's hard because there definitely is people out there
100%.
that are playing on it, and I seen it. I don't want to talk about it too much, but I see it's a wee bit of a trend with PTs talking about mental health issues, but I just know when they're playing on it.
Aye.
And I know when, you know, that way you can talk to someone and like you can tell if they understand. If you speak about what you've been through with something,
Aye.
you can tell if they get it just by like their facial expressions. If they've never went through it, you can tell because they'll look at you and go, okay, it's fine. I'm glad you don't get it. It's good for you.
They'll try and make more conversation with you. See if you don't get it, they'll try and they try to understand it more and they'll ask questions and you're just like, you just don't get this, you don't understand it. And I see it as well with, again, it's so bad to say, but in my DMs, and people message me, people message me say, I want to kill myself. And that's honestly, and you're just like, do you, but are you saying that to try and get my attention? Fair enough, you want to talk to me, but let's not put that guilt on me. Let's not message me that and say, and the hardest part is, some people will be serious, saying, I want to kill myself.
And you've no way of knowing through a DM.
Can't do it.
We went off on a tangent there, and we almost did go back into that sort of chat. But what I was so Paul, who you met, who was my therapist, he was so good at, like, you walk people through to make them realise things themselves. And even though we're not therapists as a PT, you almost have to get like maybe 20% of the skills they get. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not a therapist. You can't do CBT or anything like that. But I definitely picked up things from him. Like, I was like, how did he get me? Because, like, so I haven't spoke to my mum, and not once did he tell me to like do that or even lead me there. But I just he kept on talking to me about things, and I'd be like, right, I think that's maybe what I should do. And he never even said, yeah, do it. They just walk you through something. So motivational interviewing would just be like things like, so why do you like, what can you do to change things, or where do you need help from me to help you maybe turn things around? What one thing can we do this week to get you moving in the right direction and getting them to like sort of open up? Because sometimes it might be something like he might be berating himself. Do you know what I mean? And then because I always find the whole thing about PTs being like fucking brutal and like whatever, I find it a wee bit doesn't actually work. It's just like outdated sort of mentality.
No, I get that, and it's hard for me as well because like I kind of like that. And you might with football and stuff. I think people with a footballing background are just used to that sort of like
Aye, but I don't know about you, but I used to fucking nearly want to fight all my managers and all that.
I have this conversation with my dad all the time. Like, one of the stories my dad always talks about, he shouts something on the pitch and I'm at him. Like, fuck off that. Like, and then that sets me off. But then once I come back down from that, I'm 10 times better. Like, I get to a point where I go too far and I can't do anything. And then when you settle back down, you're like, nah, you were probably right.
Yeah.
And then you start to kick on again. But other people, I have to remember that other people aren't like that. And I have to remember that with my content as well. Sometimes there's videos that I've went to post. I don't know if you see one about cocaine, I took it down. I just went mad about it. Just no slaughtering people, but just sort of saying like, get a grip of yourself, like you're taking this too far. And people who take it and aren't affected by it, of course they're affected by it, but to the point where a lot of people are, went into that sort of side of TikTok and it's just like, again, getting slaughtered for it, and I'm just like, I have to remember that
TikTok's so hard.
It's so toxic. It's so toxic, but
I don't know if you've thought about this. So see when I post videos, right? So I've got a whole thing where I've wrote down like an avatar of like just from who I think I attract.
Right, okay.
It's usually fucking 40-year-old women, right?
Right, okay.
No matter what I post,
yeah,
it's 40-year-old women. Well, so my demographic will probably be that. It's not actually just say 25 to 50-year-old. Usually women that have had yo-yo dieted their full life. Body confidence issues and stuff.
A lot of that is mine as well, by the way. And that's more the people who comment. That's what I've noticed. That's more the people who are no ashamed to just like put comments and stuff. And that's what I find.
Mm-hmm. I struggled with that, and I'm a man. That's what because they're attracted to me because I'm speaking about the issues they've went through. But I'm a man, and I've went through that. But when you post, because I was thinking, I wonder what videos come up alongside you, because the dangerous thing about TikTok is you can't predict what's going to come up. So I wonder if someone who watches you, I get scared for what else comes up alongside those things, because I wonder if it is like Andrew Tate sort of stuff. And do you know when people get into that dark
motivationally sort of like hating the world
because
yourself sort of thing? I know, and I'd also do worry, but at the same time I deliberately put on the sad music. I deliberately make it dark. I deliberately speak very openly because I know where that content's going to go. And I've been in that spot. I've been there and watched all that stuff.
So you're thinking about this as maybe what would have been good for me at the time?
Aye, because
was there anyone that you did watch at that time that helped you?
Mostly you would have seen Alex Eubank and stuff. See his stuff.
Who's that?
No, he's an American guy who's like so. He's one of the biggest like fitness influencer people in America. His stuff now is more just like influencer stuff, but see his early stuff, he used to speak about how he really struggled with his mental health, and he's younger than me, he's like 21 or 22 or something, but just seeing his progression for just being a random boy who dropped out of college, or that must be uni on there, and just started chasing his dream of being like a fitness influencer. But he speaks a lot about Christianity and stuff, which I'm a Catholic, I do believe in it, but I don't chat about all that stuff. But just how his mental health get better and what he done to get his mental health better, and he was right. And that's the best he is. Like for me and for probably so many other people, the way he went about it, it fixed him. He'll still struggle, everybody does, but it fixed him. So he was like my biggest like inspiration at that point.
Fair. Do you know why I was thinking about it? Because so I've not went through a breakup for like 3 or 4 years, but see if breakup advice video comes up, I always watch it because I want to see what they say. I just like, I want to see what they're gonna, and it's not because also sometimes I want to see what they say because I think some of the advice for breakups is awful. So
bad.
Yeah, so I watch it and go, because I've been through 2 of them, and I think I dealt with the second one really well.
I said that the last time, you had one where you were bad, and then the second one it didn't really affect you as much.
I learned all my mistakes. Get them to fuck off social media. Like, straight away. Straight away. Never, because my first one, man, some of this, like, but I would watch her stories and that, which is dumb, but she would also, it was as if we both know we're watching each other's stories.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? But I was young. I was like 21, 22. The second time I was like, I want to come at this, like, social media wise, as if, like, nothing's changed.
Aye.
And just like, because I was posting PT stuff and I just was like, people are gonna know that I've broke up because
Yeah.
they'll know, like people who know me will see that I'm never with her anymore. That's
Yeah.
fine, but I don't want no fucking quotes,
Aye.
any of that
No
bollocks.
sharing shit to your stories and fucking sad songs and it's
Or like a wee fucking dinner where you can see a girl's hand around it. Do you know when people do stuff like that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, stuff like that because it's so bad.
But see, the time of doing that, you think you're doing it all for you. No, you think you're doing it all for them to get their attention or just showing that you're alright. But you're doing it all for you. You're doing it all just so like you think you're alright. Well, look at me. And you're trying to make them jealous, and you're just like, what am I doing?
How was your 10K? Right, I'm going to be honest. So I watched the half marathon, the 10K, and I was so raging that I never done it.
Right.
So like I've searched everyone's sort of times. So
Right.
people I've not seen in like 10 years. Like there's a boy from school, he's called Kieran Dockery.
Right.
He got an hour and 32 on the I've not spoke to this boy in a long time.
Good time,
but I've seen everyone's times and I'm going to spank them all next year. So,
right. So you're going to train for that?
Well, I ran during lockdown and I was quite decent
That's
at
when
it.
I was running, aye.
Yeah. I got like a 19-minute 35K. But 10K I'd never... So I think I could do the time you done like just now.
Aye.
But I want to do it better than that.
Yeah.
So, but did you train for it much?
Nah. I was...
See, I'm wanting you to come across as really competitive so I can smoke you.
Right, well, no, to be honest, and I only had one knee, so I'm away to see a sports therapist with my knee in the morning. So, AJ Bell, the great run people, they get in contact with me. So, I posted some running videos. I started running again because I was struggling during the 81 hard. I went through a wee bit where a lot of things came
What's
up.
81 hard?
So, it's 75.
Why is
So
it
it was just
got
81 days. Aye, so it was just add.
Did you
81.
just add 6 days?
Aye, it was just that I done it up a one. Just like I seen myself falling off. I started. This is all about again TikTok. I was getting involved in other people's drama and shit. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, get a grip of yourself." I just realised who I was again. I'm like, get back on it. So I was like, 81 hard. Started it. Then I started. As much as we just spoke about it, and we think it's a lot of shit. It did bring up a lot from my past that I thought I'd dealt with and that I hadn't dealt with. Because when you're struggling with things, like other things come into your head, and there's a lot of stuff that I probably did help me with. But
Like what?
So, well, commitment issues was a big one.
With women?
Like, like massive.
I've been there.
Yeah, commitment is like, and I'm not saying like getting with other people and that when with somebody. I mean, I was just fucking petrified to show my actual feelings. Even though I thought I was showing my feelings, nah, I was so shut off, it was unbelievable. And that's another part in the 81 hard that made me realise how shut off I can go. And when I started to try and open back up again, pretty much I fucked up a situation.
Right.
Where I girl I really fucking liked. Still chatting and that, still not trying to say make things work, but there's nothing bad there. Still see each other and stuff, but I fucked up big time. And it's because, again, I just ran away from everything. I started to feel stuff and I'm like, nah, getting that to fuck without realising it. And then when you start to do something like that and come at that end, you're like, oh wow, like, what have you done? And then I started to realise a lot of stuff about why I do it, like my abandonment sort of style, like why I abandon everybody, why I just ignore everybody and do my own thing. So it taught me a lot that I never knew. Which,
how did the challenge bring that out?
So I'm very, very good at doing things by myself. And because I was at a point in my life where I was happy, and I decided just to abandon everything again because things were going well, and I started to realise like that's why I started the challenge again. So it wasn't anything to do with like me being different, it was me just going, things are going too well, go work on yourself again.
Like self-sabotage a wee bit?
Aye. So self-sabotaging everything.
That's the main, see the feeling you're going, or you're talking about, that's the main reason I went for therapy.
Aye.
Because I've
thought about it a lot. I've thought about therapy a lot. I've said to people as well, I'm really thinking about going to therapy, but...
Mate, see Paul, if you ever, I can't, so I've got 3 friends that have started with Paul, but honestly, he's unbelievable.
Just for chatting to Paul as well, just in the podcast and stuff, what you can tell, he's just like, I like that style. I just like, it's cool, you've got it, something, like just laid back and lets you deal with it.
Yeah. So, because I done it when I was in Australia as well, I needed someone, see the thought of like, because Aussies, mate, see like woke Aussies, that Australia are much richer. See, just like to put it in a perspective, when I bartended, I was on £18 an hour,
Aye.
and like I could save like 300 or like £200 a week, so like 800 to £1,000 a month on a bartending wage and living out at home. You can't do that here. So imagine if you got a good job. So like when like Aussies talk about having a rough upbringing and you're from Glasgow, it's like so hard to relate to. It's like your mum and dad have 2 houses. Do you know what I mean? And like, whereas he's from Carntine in the East End.
Yeah, you understand.
Yeah, and I went to like school in Hamilton and stuff. So like, and it was like a Catholic school and it was rough as fuck. Whereas, so like, I needed someone that could understand. I was brought up on fucking benefits and shit. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't relate to someone that has had a really fucking rich upbringing or something.
That's exactly me. When you speak to people and you're just like, I think that's a problem with a lot of young people in schools as well by now. What I see when it comes to school, what I find from my experience, speaking to teachers and stuff, and you're just like, you don't understand. Like, I know you're trained to try and understand like what a child may be going through at home and stuff, but like, you don't understand this. Like, why are you trying to talk to me? Like, you need somebody to relate with, and that's where my big focus is just now as well. So like, sound like a fucking nonce, but kids.
That's been a topic that's coming up a lot on my podcast, funny enough.
Fucking hell, man. It's strange, but especially for somebody who hated school and stuff, but I don't know. I've got so much. Do you know how hard it is trying to? I've got so much in my head, and trying to put it into words, it's impossible. Like, it's so hard. Like, I'd need to, because I don't prepare for anything like this. I just come on and
I mean, I just watch your TikToks for 3 hours.
Exactly, like, and I don't know what's going to come up, so I can't sit and go, this is exactly how I feel about things, and I just have to roll with it. And when I try to do that, Mare comes into my head, and I'm also aware that I'm on a podcast and there's somebody else here, and I just kind of just go and keep talking.
Yeah, but
and
that's
I also don't want to go into a pure mental health chat constantly.
I don't want to go into either. What's the school stuff? Like, what you want to do there?
So I had a meeting with the Senior Health Promotion Officer for Public Mental Health. So she works on the NHS, and because South Lanarkshire don't have a post for someone within, well, is it a county? What is it? The council? Within the council.
As a county?
For like suicide prevention. So South Lanarkshire don't have that, which is a shambles. They've been speaking to me, not to do that role, but to be involved in like all our meetings and that sort of stuff. So now I've got somebody pretty much just normal to speak about what they're speaking about. So that's my next stage of, that's hopefully going to lead into schools and that sort of stuff.
What do you think you'll end up doing? I don't know about you, but I've quite an agenda against schools, because I just get made to feel so dumb in school. Well, not dumb. Like as if I was useless because I couldn't, because I was smart and I knew I was smart, but also I would have had to have studied. So I like, see, when I say I done nothing, I mean
exact same as you.
Nothing. Like I got 2 hires, so I wasn't like one of these people that couldn't study and get 5 A's. But if I studied, I would have got like.
Would have done better.
I would have done quite good. I'd have got 5 hires definitely. Like if you'd done it now, I'd get 5 hires, but. I just get mocked. Like my teachers just fucking always like were on at me all the time. Like, you're useless and all this. And I was like, but like the full environment, I hated the full time. It just didn't work for me. Like, see, sitting in a classroom, and I wasn't allowed to. I used to get punted down the front. I was sat by myself. I remember, mate, the full maths department fucking hated me, and I'm pretty convinced it's because there was a woman called Mrs. Kennedy, right? And I tripped her up by mistake, but she thought I'd done it on purpose. I had my feet out like this. I always sit like this. And I tripped her up, and I did fucking laugh at her because it was hilarious.
That's funny,
but for the rest of the next 3 years, every teacher sat me down the front instantly. Before even class started, first day, you're down the front, I've heard about you. And I'm like, for a full year?
That's the problem, but like, obviously teachers are talking stuff, and if you've done something to another teacher, or the way that you act, it's going to get held against you. And as a child, that should never fucking happen.
And also, that's from 14 to 17. They're 2 very different people, do you know what I mean? I'm still getting treated the same.
Well, that's a funny story. So the reason I left school, I said at the beginning of this, so I just walked out of school. So I just walked out. So I'm in the middle of doing my exams, and this is in 5th year. And my head teacher I'm walking past. So I used to have to go in the A wing, which is anger management and all that stuff, right? I had to go in there.
Some of it's so stupid as well. The anger management wing.
And that's what I say. Was it on here I spoke about it?
I
Anger
can't
bingo and all that?
Maybe.
Shambles.
No, you did.
Aye, so just a lot of shite. So I'm going there. I had to report there every day, every time after lunch. I think it was twice a week or something. Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it was. Going there, do my usual fill in all my sheets and that stuff. Walk past my head teacher, and this is 5th year. And this is when I started getting my shit together. Like, I'd done quite well in my 4th year exams. Again, same as you had, PE is a higher, home economics, like hospitality, because I was a chef, I enjoyed that. I was doing higher maths and...
I wasn't allowed to sit higher maths the 2 years.
They
just went, you're not sitting the exam, or sure.
So I had ideas at this point. I wanted to be a PE teacher. This is what I wanted to do. So walking past my head teacher, Mr. Cosgrove, he's a fucking arsehole. Everybody in the school hated him. Walked past him and he's like, what's your plans for next year, John? I was like, I'm staying on. I was like, I'm doing 3 hires. I'm hoping to get another couple and then go to uni. He's like, no, you're not. And I was like, what? He's like, no, you're not. And do you know how much I took that to heart? Because I was trying like fuck to get it together. I'd got to the point I was like 15, 16. I was getting my shit together. And he just still gave me that, fuck you. I was like, cool, just walked out, left, never went to any of my exams or nothing. Just patched it all and went and became a chef. And that way, like, that's also why you said you have a vendetta against schools, and that is why I want to go into them. Because I still have a vendetta against them, but schools are better equipped now. Schools aren't the same as when we went. They have changed massively. So, and
what have you seen that it's changed? It's very hard for me to comprehend that.
Teachers, it's a new generation of teachers. It's not the same generation of teachers that we had, where they don't understand mental health. And
our parents' generation who are very, like, I don't know about you, but if I talk to my dad about...
My dad's the most old school guy in the world.
If I talk to my dad about mental health or anything like that, even though I've seen him struggle, I've seen him go through it, he just says it's not a thing. He doesn't say it's a thing, but he can't comprehend what I'm talking about.
He can't admit he's weak, and that's a big bit I've noticed. Like, when I first told my dad about, so I was having panic attacks at one point, and I told my dad about it, and so my dad's got problems with, he had a cancer scare with prostate cancer and stuff. I'm still going through it all, but it wasn't cancer, but he had some problems up his arse pretty much. and he says, he turns to, what have you got to be upset about? Like, I live with a sore arse every day. I'm like, Dad, fuck off. Like, you can't just say because you've got a sore arse, your life is worse. Like, you just because you don't understand it. And then when my granddad died, my dad's dad, I seen him weak for the first time ever. And I think he noticed that as well. And do you know how much my dad's changed since my granddad passed away? Because he's maybe in that first time in his life where he's went, fuck, I'm alone. And my dad's not here anymore. And it's a horrible thing to say, like, it's, my granddad passing was a good thing for that for my dad. And I've also did them with my granddad died. I've spoken with my granddad a lot. But I think it taught my dad a very valuable lesson. So I think it's just people have to went through that wee thing that just tips them on the edge.
It's terrifying how similar I've went through the same thing.
But this is what I say to everybody. This is why I speak it. This is why I do what I do. It's why I talk about what I talk about. See, everything I say, everybody says, I relate so much. Because we're all the fucking same. We're different. We're different. But we all go through the same fucking shit.
See what you're saying, your dad's never went through something. He would have. He just never knew what it was back then. So, like, he's probably went through stuff in his 20s. Yep. He's probably... But surely your dad...
This is what I mean. This is what we speak about now.
Yeah.
Where he says, I'm starting to...
But he had to hear, like...
He had to go through something that bad.
And then hear, other people go through this and this thing.
I was going through stuff like that.
So, like... But I don't know if you can ever get it through them with that generation. Because when I first broke up with my first girlfriend and stuff, my dad, he was quite good for about a month, and then he was pretty much just telling me to man up and all that. My mum was going through these fucking schizophrenic episodes. Yep. My brain was just literally like, imagine a fried egg just fucking sizzling, mate. Just sizzling away, and he's telling me to man up. And I was like, mate, I can't man up, I'm sizzling. I'm about to be served up in a fucking plate. And so the first time I seen him vulnerable was when I moved to Australia, and I'm an only child, and he's also been, I think he's actually been celibate for a long time. Not even just single. I think he might actually be a born again virgin. It's been that long.
Oh,
But he
poor guy.
he had a breakdown when I moved to Australia, and he's pretty much telling me not to cry about moving, like for a 2 week solid. I was like, I'm not going to, and he did. And then since then, he's been so much better. But then I told him I went to therapy, and he was like, "What'd you go to therapy for?" I was like, "Mostly my mum," and he was like, "Sure, I had 2 alcoholic parents. Like your mum wasn't that bad." And I'm like, "Why did you see my mum? Why did you break up with her?" And he went, "Because she was torture." And I was like, "Hi."
Yeah.
I live with her on my own from 4 years old.
Yeah.
you listen to what you're saying.
Yep. That's again very. My mum wasn't torture. My mum was a fucking great woman, but she's a nightmare in her own way. No saying neglect, but similar to me, where she just works like fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And now again, I've had these conversations with my mum. Mum was a fucking single mum of 7 children.
Oh.
Like. And my dad's about. My dad's there, but Mum was she's got a lot of pride, so she'll not accept help. So when she's struggling, she's like, I'll just go work. And like I've seen my mum greeting, I've seen my mum sitting, like she's not seen her, but she's been in the living room and that greeting her eyes out. And I've walked past, and obviously I don't go in, it's like she's having a moment, I'll just let her do her thing. I'm not gonna make her feel worse, but that's also where I get my problems with. And again, because I went through it now, I'm starting to see on these signs. It's crazy when you go through something, how much you notice about people, and how much you realise like it's not sunshine and rainbows. So you're no as good as what you make it to be, and that's where you find it hard to draw a line to like, do I help them? Do I know? Do I just let them come in the rain? Because I see it on social media. There's a certain person on social media now. I'm not saying his name. I'm not getting involved in it, but he is having a breakdown. And he needs to.
Is it fitness?
I hope.
Is it fitness?
No. And I hope he sees this. Nah, it's no fitness. And I hope he sees this, and I hope he listens to me. Get off social media, and go fucking work on yourself. Because clinging at what you're trying to cling at, it's not working.
What was the drama you were getting involved in? Give me some juicy TikTok gosh. You must be involved in.
I've no honestly. I'm getting very good at staying in my own lane. I'm getting very good at it. Where
I don't ever diverse. As soon as I get out.
I think just when like things start to pop off, and you get a wee bit of clout and stuff, and you start to like, I don't know. This was before I came on with you? It must have been. I don't know, but you start to just like speaking to the wrong people and I just, again, I don't want to talk about names. I'm not interested in that situation. I don't want to also bring them into my life, but it's just like made a Scottish boxing partner on that pish, and like I was making videos and that about it at one point, and I was like, what are you doing? I think I made 2 videos about it.
Very tempting though, because I did want to come out and just go, these are all
Get a grip.
I just wanted to come out and go, see every one of them.
It wasn't to fight in it, it was to be like, what are you doing?
I wanted to do it as well, but I've really trained myself not to reply to any comments or get involved in anything.
Yep.
So I said this in the last podcast, so I won't go into it, but there's a guy made a 2-minute video on me because I called him a CrossFit gimp because he'd just been commenting on my videos, and I just was like,
people are so sensitive, aren't they?
I made but he just tried to take everything I've ever said out of context. He must have spent like 10 hours on it, and I was like, mate, that's really sad. That's really, and like I told that to him, and he like I was like, mate, I'm not replying to this, sharing it, or like getting involved in it. Like, I don't care. And then I was like, if you sat next to me, you would agree with what I would say. It's just TikTok. And he was shouting to me after that, and I speak to him now and he's fine. But I was like, the thought that someone actually made a 2-minute video about me, it's just like,
how much a meltdown are you having about?
I was like, I don't want to get involved in any of this, but mate, that boxing patter. So mate, I blocked that Kaz Milligan the other day. I don't have him on it. I just don't want to see him. I don't want to see any of that. I can't be arsed with any of it. I don't have anything against him. I just, honestly, I would that stuff would come up on my phone. I'd be like, the worst part about TikTok is I can't get away from. How do you get it off?
I know, and it's annoying because you end up watching it as well, because I don't know why you watch stuff that annoys you, but you do. Like, see, I've seen some of his recent stuff, and it's just him and his missus doing his house up. I think Kaz Milligan is a. They're actually that's not a podcast, man.
I'm not. I wouldn't bitch about anyone.
I know, because I feel like Kaz is the kind of guy who would get involved in this because I've said it, but I feel like he is trying to get away.
You would batter him.
No, no. Have you seen his boxing? It looks decent.
Is it?
Aye, so there's some of his fucking stuff. Aye, but
I could outrun him, but
I could outrun him, but he's probably better than me. What am I saying? You put me off now.
you shot yourself. That's what you're doing.
Aye, what have I done?
He's the type
He's
of
new stuff. So I think Kaz knows that he made an ass of what he was doing. Where on the hate he was getting, it helps you. It helps you go out there. But he dragged it on for way too long, and everybody just sees him as a dick. You are a dick here, boy. And that's what everybody sees him as. And I kind of hope that he continues to do it the way he does it and stop replying to hate, stop doing on the shite and just do your own thing, mate. Do your own thing. See if you see, and he does this thing where he talks about how successful he is. Just be successful. You don't have to tell everybody how successful you are. Just do it.
Is that a hard word for you?
That is a very hard word, mate. Aye, fucking hell. I fucked up about 3 times.
I was like, third time lucky, please, mate.
I got spat and everything. Stop talking about what you're going to do and just go fucking do it. Just shut up. In the nicest possible way.
I removed myself from all the circles that I had that were, see, when I started TikTok and whatever.
Yeah.
Because I found it really brutal. Because everyone starts like competing with each other and it's not a competition.
Aye.
And they all start doing it. And then
it's the trends. That's the trends of doing that. They want me likes and others and all that, and it's embarrassing.
It's really bad. And that was the best thing for me, because I go back and watch all of these people and they're still doing it, and they all look quite they don't. I can see through it, because I know.
Aye.
And I don't think you can see it until you've made videos and you can see why someone's making a video. Does that make sense?
Aye.
Like, I can see why they've made the video, whereas people just go, oh, that's a video, I'll like that.
Yeah.
But I can see they've made that video because people will like it, but all for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. That's that situation I was saying that I fucked up. That's what they were very good at for me, was they would tell me, like, why are you making that video? Why have you done that? That's not you. Stop being that person. I was like, you're 100% right. Every time they done it, it was a video that I used to upload and I go, what am I doing? But I'm putting it on too much instead of just being me. Like, and that's probably what I've started doing now again, where you've seen some of these videos, I'm just talking shit and that and having a laugh. Do you know how much fucking happier I am? Just because it might not be getting the same attention that it's getting. I might not be getting the same opportunities that I'm getting, but I'm just being me. And that's what blew me up. Just me being a fanny and enjoying my life.
I like when you say about like what, like, because I listened to that Dapper Laughs podcast. Aye. And it was all about like how that video on you in the mountain made you viral and all that. But I knew who you were. Like, I asked you to come on in February, but I wasn't in the UK. Aye. And it was a video about the punching the chicken.
Aye.
It wasn't, and I didn't even know anything about the mental health stuff. I just found that funny. Yeah. And that's like, and I've lost myself like 4 times in the last 3 years just by like the algorithm. Aye. Just trying to like make videos that'll do well, and I'm like, what? Yeah. You just, because in order to do that, it will take you away from who you are quite a lot.
But you know what made me stop doing that is my Instagram went crazy. So I don't know, like, but in the start of this year, I reckon I had less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. Less than 1,000.
You had about 3,000 when I messaged you, because I remember.
She had about 3,000 then, which was
like February or March.
So that's when I started sort of actually posting me on social media. And then the fucking video at the top of Ben Ann, that put my followers to like 20,000. It went mad, it went crazy. A few pages shared it, and they all just followed me off it. These cunts don't know who I am. They've not got a clue. And then when I post something different from what they expect from me,
dies on its arse.
It's not even that it dies on its arse, and they comment on it. Like, is this your content? Aye. And what? Like, I'm just being me. Like, I was never a fucking mental health warrior. That wasn't me. And I talk about it. I think it's important to talk about it. I'm always going to speak about it. Like, my content's always going to have an undertone of, like, trying to help people. And that's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. But I can't be that person all the time, because I'm the most negative guy in the world. It puts me in a shitty position myself. And that's not what I think helps your mental health. Me just telling you about how shitty my life was. That doesn't help you. That just makes you feel all nice, because it's not just you. Like, what needs to happen is I need to start telling you how to fucking sort it.
And then people don't like that one.
And then people don't like it. Aye. If I get a wee tiny bit harsh, I've done a couple of them, I've started off like pretty much saying this is a reality check. If you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. And I just tell them what I wish somebody told me, or what people were telling me, but I didn't listen to. I just wouldn't listen to. Because you don't understand. You don't get it. Cool.
It's like when I said about the breakup advice, I only listened to the stuff that I wanted to hear.
Aye. Stuff that makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel nice.
Aye, you still get back together.
Tarot readings, is that what you're saying?
Who?
The tarot readings.
No, I didn't watch that.
I only brought it up because Sunday my live last night was talking about tarot readings, and I feel bad, but I slaughtered them.
Aye, slaughtered
them.
Do you know why tarot readings are fucked? Because my mum's into them.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. It's so fake. I do believe, see when you go to see a psychic, I do believe in some of them. I think it's a thing.
Not if they're in a council estate anywhere in the surrounding areas of Glasgow, which is where my mum goes.
Aye, but there's certain people who, I've spoken to people who's been to them as well, and they're like, honestly, I walked in the room and they've just hit me with a random bit of information and went, what the fuck? How could you know that? I believe that there's something there, but see these countries are posting a video on TikTok saying, if you don't watch this, your full life's going to fucking collapse and die. Like, fuck off. Stop being attention seeking.
I have a theory about astrology and why people...
Getting it was starting on astrology.
No. Do you know why I think it's a red flag in a woman if they're into astrology? Well, because I thought about it loads, because obviously we just hear it, but...
Can I tell you what I think it is and see if it matches up to you? Oh, fuck. They'll be influenced by what they read and see instead of what they actually feel. I think that's one for me, which is massive. I'm
going to try to word this because I think we'll get the same thing, but I've thought about it in a different way, but it actually makes sense when you like the two of them. I think it makes them not take responsibility for what's happening in their life, and they just go, that's what it is, but actually something shit in the... Do you know what I mean? And it makes them think, oh no, the moon, like, it's not that I hate my job, the moon's not aligned with Jupiter.
The moon's at fucking 32 degrees. Fuck off.
That's what I've found, because I remember watching like this, won't name who it is, I can't even remember what her name was, but it was like a PT, and she was just making all these negative videos about how she wasn't getting clients and like views and all this, and then like all these astrology videos at the same time, and I'm like, how are you not connecting these dots?
Yeah.
Like you're going through a rough time, it's nothing to do with the fucking moon. And by the way, normal to go through a rough time, but like instead of like blaming, like instead of like going, oh, it's this, why don't you look at how you can maybe fix it?
It's same sort of it's the same sort of thing.
It is the same, it's just I've said it and I came at it from a different way.
The blame side it, and then I have to feel like they're influenced by other things. It's the exact same thing, just for two different angles. It's a fucking sham. It's as simple as that. It's a sham.
Do you know what I hate as well? When people tell me they've went for therapy and I go, how long for? And they go, it didn't work. And I go, how? And they go, I went twice. And I'm like, you didn't.
Aye.
It's like going to the gym twice.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I get a lot of it with obviously the stuff I speak about, and sometimes I'll comment back to people and I'll say to people, go to the doctors, didn't work. So you phoned them once and they told you you've not got an appointment, so it doesn't work. Are you going to continue to try? Are you going to no? And I've got a cheek saying that because I tried antidepressants 3 months and went, fuck that, because it was affecting my job. Again, workaholic situation. I couldn't sleep at night, and then I couldn't get up in the morning. And I was just a disaster all day, and then I'd be up all night again. So I was like, fuck that, I'm not taking them anywhere, because my body hadn't adjusted yet. So I went through it the hard way. Kinda glad I did, because now I don't rely on that. It would probably still help me. It would stabilise my mood, but I stopped giving up so fucking easy. Then it comes into fitness as well, because I used to do it. Going to lose weight, 2 weeks, lost a bit of weight, or couple of takeaways, Chinese chippy, put on a bit of weight again. Fuck it. I can't do this, it's too hard.
That's what all my content is sort of about. Like, try to show them that, because I think you need to see some sort of bit of progress before, because it's easy to say keep going, but see if because I try always think about so even though it's hard to maybe bring up when you were like, as in think about when you were going through hard points, I think the best way to come at content is maybe thinking about what helped you at that point. Like, see, try to remember everything that helped you. And I explain it like with the gym. It was a guy called Body. I don't know why I keep doing this, by the way. There's a guy called Body, right? And he's like this pure fucking Lamborghini driving. He's always walking about with birds and all that. But I was like 22 or whatever, and at the time I'd never stuck to the gym, and I bought like a shredding program, which was half my problem as well. That I never just focused on getting stronger. I was always trying to lose weight because I was fat when I was younger. But that was the first person that taught me to progressively overload in the gym. And see, that one thing, that even though that didn't fix all my problems at the time, it got me to fix one problem, and then it started the rest of my journey. And I'm just trying to get people to get that one thing that gets them, and then it won't fix everything. The rest of your life might be fucked, but see, at that point, just progressively overloading the gym, it's all I thought about all day. And it got me excited to go to the gym, because I went, I might get an extra rep on this bench press. And I thought about it all day.
I'm so glad you said progressive overloading, because I'd made a video about progressive overloading in the gym, but I also made a video about doing it in your fucking life. It's not just, if it works, I just kept thinking, if this is working on my muscles, I'm getting better. If I start to do this with my head, and I start to do more things and force myself to do them, it's going to make me better as well. And it did. That's the whole thing. Everybody says it's like manifesting, right? I kind of believe in manifesting. I just got to focusing on what the fuck you want and going for it. But it comes for just having the balls to go, fuck, I'm going to do it. And then just continuing to do that. Make it harder for yourself, because that's where you learn. That's where you go, I can do this. Like, the thought of it is horrible, but I can do it. And that's what happens with fucking getting better.
It's like habit stacking into it.
Aye, that's what progressive overloading is as well. If you continue to do something, you get better at it.
Have you got any imposter syndrome about...
Massive. Huge. It's a joke.
About PTing?
About PTing, so I've filmed a lot of content.
I was going to ask you, because I seen the gym stuff. I didn't post any gym stuff when I first started. You're a lot bigger than me when I first started, as now I was. So see, when I was talking about running, that's when I started PTing. So I ran for 6 months through lockdown, didn't touch a weight. I also wasn't that big before it, but I lost everything, and I looked like Mo Farah, apart from I was the white version, obviously. And that would be pretty racist if I wasn't the white version, but anyway. So I didn't post videos because of that, because I felt so skinny. I also knew my form was fucked. But now, and even though I might make my forms like 99 out of 100, and I still get people saying I'm doing stuff wrong.
But again, it comes down to the way it's other people's opinions as well. But so I've got huge imposter syndrome with a lot of things I do, and the gym's one of them. Like I was saying, I spent a night recording form tips, how to use machines, everything, just in the thought of like, no, but personally, I wasn't even doing my course at this point, just to be like, see, if you're somebody who's a shite bag and can't go to the gym, like I was, here you go, here's how you use every machine in JDCO Bridge, go fucking use them. And I never posted it, because I just thought, I'm not qualified, but I know how to use it, I know how to fucking
as
exercise.
We said, mate, most PTs are barely qualified.
Aye, I know, but you give it that, like, if I get my qualification, at least I've got something to go, well, I'm qualified. Well, at least I've got that backup when people question you. But again, I should stop caring about people questioning me.
Were you scared of going to the gym?
I hated it.
When
I first saw it.
Because I maybe had this, but I don't remember ever being anxious in the gym.
Aye, so in the time I went to the gym was at the same time when I was trying to chuck myself up a mountain.
Right.
So I didn't want MD to see me, but what helped me go to the gym was that point. So after I tried that, I used to go pure Jimmy School Bride. You park up the upstairs car park, and I just sit in my motor for like an hour.
Is that why you used to go in the dark?
Aye.
Did you used to go really late?
Aye, really late.
How late?
Like 1 in the morning.
Just because you didn't want to see people?
Aye. No, I mean that I didn't want people to see me. It's both sides of it. Like, I didn't want to see anybody because I didn't want to deal with any conversation, and I didn't want people to see me being embarrassed. When I used to go to the gym, I would go in, get one of the wee steppers, go into the wee studio, and get a fucking seen a big like sandbag things. They fuck one in my back and just start doing lunges and squats and shit. And that's
Where did you get that from? Like, or do you make that up in your head?
just made it up.
So did you have no knowledge of the gym either?
None.
None?
So I done a bit of boxing when I was younger. No for very long to be fair, but I done a bit of boxing. And everything I done was like push-ups, pull-ups. It was all explosive. Nothing was weighted. So I never knew anything about the gym. Then I played football my full life. So again, none of it was weighted. It was just running. So I went in the gym with no clue what I was doing. Not a single clue.
See, this is good for me because you've more recently got into the gym than me. So see, because I can't pull on when I was anxious, I try to figure out how people, because remember I said
still
about
anxious in the gym by now.
Do you?
Aye.
So see what I was saying about getting people, the progressive overload was the thing that changed the way I thought about things. I try, because I'm trying to get that for someone, just that one thing to start it. If you didn't have a clue what you were doing in the gym, you were anxious, you were going there at 1 a.m, you didn't want to speak to people, what got you to start learning? Because had you tried the gym and then would you try and quit like I did?
Aye, so I got a membership to, the first one was Exercise for Less in East Kilbride. That was a good while ago, sneaking there in the Mills Dry Dino. And then I got a membership at Anytime Fitness, and that one I couldn't cancel. So I thought I'm going to get that one so that I would go. Never went once. Not once. So I was spending 35 quid a month. Never went. I never even set foot in the place. And then I just patched the gym for ages. I got back into football. So I stopped playing football for 16 or 17 to 21 or something. So I got back into football and I was like, I started really enjoying that. Get into running. And the gym was just one I was just like, nah. But I just got to the point, I was watching a lot of James Smith back then. That's when James Smith was probably like at his biggest. And I watched so much of him and I was just like, he just says it how it is. Like, it made me feel more comfortable being in a gym. And then I decided, fuck it, I'm going to start going. And I knew I had to try and do something to survive, pretty much, to keep going. And I thought, if at least I go in the gym, I'm trying. That was my whole thing, like I'm doing something. I'm trying, I'm not cheating myself. I just get hooked, just addicted. Within my 6 month transformation was kind of mad because I'd lost all my weight and then I had pure newbie gains for 6 months. So I thought I was massive. I was like, I've made huge progress. And then that's where I stuck there. And I love it now. You can't get me out of the gym. I fucking love the place.
So if you reckon James Smith had the biggest impact on you?
Huge, aye, massive.
Makes you realise how worth it is to post stuff and that. Because I do get messages from people saying, because sometimes I go, content's not doing as well recently, and I'm not arsed about stuff like that.
You still want it to do well, but
I know, but I'm more focused on it. Like, if I've got no clients and my content was doing terrible, I would be like, right, that's different. But I'm more focused on me
I'm
just
in
having
that
a
between stage in it. I'm so scared that I get no clients because my content's going to be a disaster by the time I'm qualified. It's just a fear that I've got. Like,
but it's not even a relevant fear. It's a like that you. Those fears are actually good because it'll get you to prepare for that.
Aye.
Because, mate, sometimes when I've had like months or whatever where I would like, because see when I watched you, that's what I said to you at the start, because I grew like 80,000 followers at once at TikTok during the first lockdown. My TikTok would have been very similar to what yours was. You've just now went from at that point, you've still kept going. Mine's kind of died at that point. But I had no business sense and also wasn't confident as a PT. So I didn't capitalize on it at all. Whereas now when I grow followings and stuff, because it still happens, I'm like, right, but I need to make sure that turns into business and don't start focus. Because I used to go followers and engagement on social media and not my business and clients. And that was so pointless. It's like, what are you doing it for? I used to gain like 10,000 followers and make less money. And I'd be like, why am I doing it? But do you know what I mean? I'd be like, what am I doing it for? I
kind of get it because at the same time, you feel guilty as well, like, because you're posting information to help people.
But sometimes I wasn't doing it for views, you know. Do you get what I mean? You fall into that trap.
Everybody does it, but it's the ones that are like, especially what I talk about. And the amount of people that do merch and stuff, and I could probably do merch and I could probably make a bit of money on it. I could launch a hoodie and I could make a bit of money, but I'm just profiting off like people's downfall, but people's struggle.
I think that's also how you kill your kill it.
Aye.
It's like how Love Island people come out and just kill their social media.
Just
straight
go
away.
to business. So that's where I'm
not
I'm
even
gonna
business
start,
to sell out money.
Aye.
Alright, because you can build a business and help people.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like when I'm promoting my business, I do it by just literally putting helpful videos out there.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not actually like, oh, I'm by the way, I like here's coaching for half price. It's just like this is what I teach my clients.
Aye.
I don't even mention coaching, but because I'm talking about the fact I teach clients, they go, oh, he's a coach.
Aye.
And they might not apply. They might watch 100 videos before they apply.
Yeah.
But that's my marketing. But that was
be genuine in it. Just show what you know, and that's people want to work with you.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the best way to be. Definitely.
So you scared at all about any of it?
The full thing, aye. No, the full thing. It's just
But we'll end on it. We'll end soon. But because you were talking, you're going to go in person, aren't you?
aye. So
I rate that so much, by the way, because you're in a position where
I could just do online.
Yeah.
Aye. So that's what I was saying. What's his name again?
Dale.
Sorry? Dale. So I was saying to Dale. So my plan for my person, I don't think I've told them about this shit. So fuck it, we'll say it. My plan for personal training is once I get my level 2 done, I can take on online clients. So I will start taking on online clients. I don't know how many yet. I want to do it slowly so that I can no, I'm never going to perfect it, but so I can actually work on it and work towards my level 3. Once I've done my level 3, my online clients are going to pay my wage, and I'm going to work and just I'm hoping supposed to start in Pure Gym, which I'm hoping works out, and just work with normal people. And I want to do it at a subsidised rate because I'm lucky enough to have my protein and online stuff where I don't need to work. I don't need to be a personal trainer. I want to be. And the satisfaction of helping somebody who's actually struggling, and see when you can just take somebody who couldn't go to a gym and put them into a gym and they start going by themselves. That's all I want to do. And if they lose weight while doing that, or if they get fitter and they get happier, that's it. That's what I want. I don't want to be a pure charity case, and PTs won't like it, and I'll be able to do it cheaper than what they can. I'm not trying to steal your clients. It's just it's going to make me happy. So I'm massive on doing a job that makes me happy. And that's why personal training is the job I'm picking.
It's refreshing to hear it because sometimes I need to remind myself that's why I started.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'd have been in the exact same
Aye.
headspace as you were, but the longer you do it, sometimes you forget.
Of course.
But then you come back to and you go, I actually just want to help people. Because
Aye.
someone will message me. Like I had a girl from school the other day that I coach, and she was just, like, she'd have maybe had a past like weight loss, and she hasn't lost that much weight since she's been on with me, but I've been trying to get her to, because she'd been on Slimming World and weight loss had stalled, and I wanted to get her away from weight loss for a while.
Yep.
But then when we went back into it, she's not really been losing weight, but there's an element that I need to bring her up in calories for a long time before we go back down again. And I was like, I don't know if I've came at this the right way. I don't know if she understands what I mean. And she just sent me a message when she was on holiday saying, here, I've been on holiday. I've not ridiculously overindulged, but I've also not avoided food. And she's like, you've taught me so much about the gym and stuff. And I went, I forgot why. I was like, that just made me realise what my whole message is. Because it's not all about weight loss. Sometimes people need to take, even if weight loss is their end goal, they need to take a long, long time away from it. And it's hard to explain that to people, but I always try to do the right thing. Do you know what I mean? For the person.
You have to see what's behind why they've put on weight, and also what the weight they've put on. What has that done to their head? How has that made them feel? For years, on the years of failing, how has that made them actually feel? And if you can get somebody who's never been able to lose weight, and keep making an arse of it for years and years and years and don't understand it, and you can make them understand it and then be able to go and do it by themselves, you've changed that person's life. I don't care what MD says, you have changed that person's life. And if it wasn't for me doing that for myself, I wouldn't have the platform I'd have. I wouldn't be able to inspire the people I inspire. One person can change thousands of people.
It's mad how the gym can do that to you, innit?
It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. But you've got so much. Well, the gym's different for football and all that sort of stuff. because a lot of young boys are in my comments saying Fitbiz's a massive help to them. Fitbiz's made a distraction. The gym, you've got so much time in your own head and you are thinking about what's going on and you can't help it.
And you also can like talk yourself out of it and stuff. So like you build that, whereas training's just turn up. Yeah, you're training, like if your manager's shouting at you, you're going to do it. Whereas if you're in the gym, you need to rely on yourself.
Just you.
And then you build up the confidence from trusting yourself by turning up for yourself.
Yeah.
Because before we end, because it's just, sometimes I just get random thoughts, like, and when I used to slag off the gym the most would have been when I was the most fucked. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Like I'd have slagged people that went and stuff, and I would have been the last person you'd expect to be a PT. But that's probably why I'm good at it, if you know what I mean.
Aye.
Well, not I don't want to big myself up, but it's probably because I understand that I wasn't the gym guy. I wasn't at all.
You can see you're good at it, and there's two different kinds of PT, right? There's more than two, but there's weight loss and fat loss, and then there's some like more coaches who are looking to build muscle. And I think for you, I'd say you're a weight loss PT 100%. You know, somebody's going to say, I'm going to put you through a show. I think that's a more rewarding side of it, for me anyway, and I don't know if that's just maybe my background and where I came from, because we were both fat. Yeah. And that's why we know the struggle on that. But I don't know where I'm trying to go with this, to be honest. But the online stuff, I think, will be more for people who like to go on holiday. 3 months, blast out a 12-week programme and get in decent shape for a holiday. The in-person stuff is the stuff that's going to mean the most to me.
I'm excited for you, mate, because honestly, some of the stuff you learn in person, and so many people, like, I've seen so many people getting way less followers than you have, and they just go straight on online.
Aye.
Mate, they all die in their arse.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of died on my arse a wee bit after like a year.
Yeah.
Because you don't really learn the people skills. And I also had a conversation with the last boy that was on, and I was wondering how, like, maybe me and him done quite well in PTing, as in, because was it 80% of PTs don't make it past a year? And we both had backgrounds just doing a shit ton of jobs and like social jobs, and you've got you have no idea how much your chat from sales and cards will transfer over. It's mad, mate. You'll start saying stuff that you said in your old job and you transfer it over, but you've already got the people skills, if you know what I mean. I
think that comes as well from being older and not just going into a PT to do a job. Like you've experienced a bit of life, and then you've finally found what you're looking for. Whereas people do PT and that side it because they don't know what they want to do, and they just fall into it. And then they go, a year's time, I don't actually like doing this, so fuck this. It's not making me as much money as I want it to. I'm out.
Do you want to know my first thought when a PT starts? I'm like, have you been through a breakup? Because so many of your clients are going to come in that mindset. And if you've never been through something like that, you might have to, you're obviously not giving them advice on it, but you have to know how that person's feeling.
Aye. That's before we finish as well. I think going through a breakup is the best thing that will ever happen to you. A proper breakup where you are heartbroken, you can't leave your bed, that is the best thing that will ever happen to you. You don't see it right now.
Do you remember wanting to punch fuck out anyone that said that to you at the time though?
Aye, 100%.
I'll get better. Fucking when?
Aye, you hated that. Yeah, I hated everybody at that point in my life. But look at my content. Look at who I used to be. Look at me now.
The video of you and saying that your life's gonna change,
and then it switches.
It's how you look like Casper the Ghost.
I know. I was a disaster. Mad. But see, at that point,
you couldn't have been that much of a disaster though, because you said things are going to change, so you must have been.
That's at the point where I was convinced myself to stay unhappy for no reason. Where I'd worked on myself that much, like for almost 2 years, I was on it, like, and I'd never lifted my head up. I was just working on me. And things were happening, and I was like, I'm happy. But I wasn't letting myself be happy. I'd force myself back into, no, be miserable. And then, that was at lunchtime, on my way home from work. And I was just like, fuck you doing? Why are you doing this? And honestly, I just switched. Went, I'm going to try and be happy, and my full life changed. Completely changed. Just the way I seen it, be more positive, be more confident, be happier. It was fake as fuck some of it, but everything changed. Everything. And I've just ran with it. I've just went with it, and whatever happens in the future happens. I can't wait to fall off, but I can't wait just to fall off social media. I cannot wait.
As in you want to, like, as in you want to
Aye.
just get to a point where you don't need it?
Aye. Yeah. And not in a bad way. Like, I like doing what I'm doing, but...
Yeah, I can't wait to never make a reel or a TikTok.
Oh,
That's what I want to keep doing. So that's my plan in the future. I want to keep doing it. Because this doesn't feel like the same way making a reel or a TikTok feels.
Actually chat to somebody.
Sometimes you come out and go, that was such a good chat. Because I've took things away from, like, I've genuinely, like, took wee bits away from you about talking about James Smith. That's given me a wee bit of motivation that, like, more so his videos what is this that I keep doing with my hands? That's a new thing. It's given me, like, wee bit of inspiration of, like, that's the, like, influence you can have on someone. And he'll never know, well, unless he ever listen to this, he'll never know that he might have been the spark for you to change things. Not saying he fixed your full life, friend, but he gave you a wee bit that, like, maybe started an upward trend.
Yeah. Because he gave the no bullshit approach. He was one of the first, there's probably more people now, but he was one of the first big people, or got big for being no bullshit. Because fitness, social media, it's a fucking joke.
Aye.
So and it's still a joke. So he's the one person who broke the trends, that thing, I'd say. And everybody listened, because like he's got nothing to gain out of this. He's just speaking, and nobody else is speaking like this. And look at where it's put him. He's changed his full fucking life. He's went a bit AWOL now with a whole... He's too political now. I'd say I think there's a certain stage where you just don't voice your views with certain things. He's went a bit over the top, but fuck it, he's fucking earned it.
I think he just got bored of fitness.
Aye.
I think that's when...
He came back recently a bit on TikTok. He started posting stuff, and I was like, is he back to...
His YouTube's good.
Is it? I've not watched
his YouTube. Like, really informative as well. Actually, really good.
Aye,
I think that's where he's going to go into. But, mate, I've said to people a few times, because sometimes people can get so big that people just start for some reason resenting them. Right. And a lot of people are at that stage with James Smith. He's just so big that people are like, oh, I don't like him anymore. But I'm like, see, if you think about the impact he had on the actual industry, I don't think anyone's had a more positive impact than him.
No, definitely not. You have to respect what he's done. You can, no matter how you got successful, you still fucking done it. You have to respect that. You have to go, fair enough, you stuck it out. And that's the problem with everybody, and they don't stick it out, and that's why you don't get successful.
But I do agree. I have went on his Twitter before and went,
like, aye.
Maybe don't say that.
It was a COVID stuff. When all the COVID stuff started happening, it was like, mate, this isn't your field. Stay out yet. That's why it's stay in your own lane.
It's very hard, but I'm going to stay in my own lane as well, because I've done a few things like that a few times. I went, well, don't say that. Don't say that. I made a joke about, like, gender neutral toilets one time, and I just went, why did I do that? Yeah. Absolutely don't do that. Anyway,
I might get in a chat about gender neutral stuff, because I'll go on a tangent. But
we'll end it here before. Although I called it chat shit get cancelled, I've actually changed my views on that. I just stay away from any of that stuff. But fuck the Tories, everything's too expensive.
Fuck the Tories, correct. Fuck the Tories.
Everything's too expensive. Right, I'm going to intro this anyway, so I will just talk about who you are. Anyway, you don't need to tell people, follow Jimmy.
No, don't follow him.
No, thank you very much for coming on. And if people do want to follow you, everything will be in the description. Catch you in a bit.
Cheers, mate.